You have reached Fort Collins Police Services. If you have an emergency, hang up and dial 911.
Wait while I transfer your call. Dispatch, this is Jamie.
Hi, Jamie. First question, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, good. I sometimes have poor quality reception. This is a non-emergency, so if you need to take higher priority calls, let me know. However, this is getting to be very, very, very important of an issue.
Okay.
So, I have been attempting to report to officers all the way from Shiager down, including dispatch, dispatch number 221. Basically, everyone is telling me that whatever issues I have with regards to a criminal complaint that was filed against me, I'm going to trial over something. DA has taken the charges from the local police department. Basically, I have other facts and that are unrelated to the guilt or innocence of my case that I've been trying to start an internal investigation for with the police department, and I've just found out that everything that they've been telling me is violating their internal complaint process. I was told I was required to write things down when I just pulled up that I am not required, that you guys are that can accept verbal complaints, also of both administrative and criminal conduct related. And so I was basically just given the runaround, and so I need to now start a new internal investigation process. I still have not gotten to the paperwork of the original internal complaint that I was told to write things down. But basically, I have 3 to 4 to 5 to maybe 6 or 7 officers now that all need to be investigated for not following policies, as well as criminal complaints filed against them. Like I said, not anything to do with my guilt or innocence. These are things that we have caught them doing in their jobs, regardless, also with other people. And so it's, yeah, in a nutshell, just for your benefit, for classification purposes, basically, we caught a crack in the system where most of the police department seems to think that the east side of Safeway, the little bench area that got filled in, is private property. And they continue to think that and are illegally ticketing people for trespassing there, so forth and so on, myself included. But I've already talked to the city manager's department a long time ago. They're very much consistent with the fact that it's a right-of-way. And there's one officer in the police department that actually did get it, Lieutenant Kinsman. I spoke to him a long time ago. And so basically, we're just trying to get the ball rolling for all the other officers that are not doing their jobs, as well as the DA, so forth. So it's another verbal complaint type thing. I don't have any time to write down, but holy crap, do I need to get in touch with, as according to this internal complaint process, everybody's supervisors involved.
Okay.
Yeah, so finally, an internal complaint on the failed internal complaint on the failed internal complaint.
Okay. Yes, quite the rundown. Okay. Give me just a second. Let me see. Trying to find. Okay. Well, give me a second to find the internal affairs numbers. As far as the supervisors go, which officers were we needing for?
Okay, so all of the officers that I know of are the dispatch 221, Lieutenant Dan Murphy, Jerry Shager, I think the assistant chief, and Trombley, Mike Trombley.
Okay.
We told him Hopkins, Officer Hopkins, just what's his name? He's just a first level officer. But then there's also Officer Chernak, Brady, and Howard, and their Sergeant Supervising Officer Howard as well. Everybody I can list off the top of my head right now. There's probably a couple more out there.
Okay.
But yeah, we caught a lot. We tried to report that there was this sign that's up there that's probably been there since that Robinson Pierson project was built. It says no loitering, please take action on the side. and that used to be there. There used to be benches there, if you guys recall, and so that's kind of what we figured the sign was there. We found out from Safeway employees as well as security guards that everybody on the private property side has always thought that was private property. And so I've been kind of trying to fight to get that sign taken down because it seems to be influencing people's decisions, even though they should be knowing their own jobs. The cops should be using plats and maps and stuff that the city has told me to use. So there's really no controversy for the facts.
College in Mulberry, correct?
Yeah, College in Mulberry. The address. Oh yeah, and truthfully speaking, what I'm really trying to do is get an internal investigation opened for the actual address associated with this, which is 460 South College, being that while all calls are kind of, categorized by whatever addresses are near them, that one seems to be the address that a lot of other previous citations may have been written under. So it'd be really easy to go back and see who's been writing private property tickets at that address if it happens to do with the east side of Safeway. So, sorry for lots of words. Thank you. It's just a learning process. You guys have forced us to basically become your internal affairs, and so we're following your documentation. We're glad you have it. We're just hoping you guys can follow it now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sorry, I'm doing some looking here.
Oh yeah, by all means. Investigation process. If you're curious about the number, it is policy 1020. Yeah, and also I found a different policy with regards to mentioning internal affairs that clarifies that both internal affairs investigations and criminal cases can be done concurrently. That's what I was told. Otherwise, that is in policy 612, the Brady policy there.
Okay, and I'm sorry, you said internal affairs and criminal investigations?
Yeah, so I was told by the dispatch that they can't do investigations, internal investigations side by side to any sort of criminal complaints I have to go through court. I was basically told I need to provide information to the courts only. And so this section just happened to clarify really easily that that both an internal affairs investigation of administrative as well as criminal can also be done side by side to an actual criminal complaint.
Okay.
So
You would know better than I would, honestly.
Yep. You guys have forced me to do my homework, so this is good because, truth be told, I have upwards of 30 other situations like this that my brother and I have caught, both in this municipality and others, of basically illegal misconduct by officers not really using the elements or maps or things like that. And so we're just up to our eyeballs in paperwork, and we can't even get the paperwork out. And then once we started realizing that, we kind of went back to some of the research and realized that, lo and behold, maybe we've been getting the runaround, and a lot of this stuff should have been dealt with internally. And so here we are again.
Okay. Give me just a second. Let me see. I'm having trouble finding that internal number. Give me just a second.
Take your time.
All right. Sir.
Yep, still here.
Okay, let me get you over to the professional standards sergeant. Her name is Jackie Pierson.
Hey, I just read about the PSU. That's really good news. I'm glad you're sending me over there. Thank you very much.
Yeah, of course. Give me just a second.
Sorry, Jackie Pierson is not available. Record your message at the tone. When you are finished, hang up or press pound for more options.
Yes, hello. This message is for Jackie. I just got your voicemail. I was transferred from dispatch. I heard you are part of the PSU, I think Professional Standards Unit or something like that, dealing with internal complaints. And boy, have I got one for you. It's going to be pretty easy to explain, but it's going to have a lot of detail to it. Basically, I've been trying to report things to the officers here in this city. I'm a hometown native. A lot of officers involved, a lot of runaround I was given. I ended up finding out through your policy that none of these people were following their internal investigation policy itself. So there's like 5 or 6 officers here that we definitely need to talk to. Again, I still don't have time to get to the paperwork. These officers were all telling me that I need to write things down instead of just tell them. But the policies tell me I can give you guys verbal complaints. But nonetheless, I just trying to work my way up the chain. It's very, very easy, I think, to deal with this once we get to the right people, I'm finding out. And so I'm really excited to get to you. You seem to be a little bit higher up and may be able to handle some of these issues here. But basically, I started a paper trail of what I could with dispatch. It's regarding officers that don't know the definitions of certain laws and yet are still executing them. Things like they don't know what the right-of-way is, or a plat, or private property lines. They're not using maps. They're not following their elements. And so I've too many to count. These are related and not related to my criminal cases that are pending. But as I've read in the investigation policies, that you are allowed to and are sometimes encouraged to do side-by-side investigations to criminal complaints for both administrative as well as separate criminal conduct. And so I have a lot of juicy information, I hate to say, that does not have anything to do with my opinion on whether or not I'm guilty or innocent in the court of law. And that was mentioned in the policies here that regardless of my opinion, there can still be complaints made and there still can be allegations sustained of criminal and or procedural wrongdoing. And so that's where I'm starting with you guys. We have a lot to go through, but not really. I just have a lot of evidence. I mean, I have audio recordings of every single interaction dating back years now. We have over 30 other cases. Basically, we have been trying our best to defend ourselves in these laws. We have a lot of illegal tickets, and basically we've been kind of behind because we have been having to fight so many of them. So we've almost won pretty much almost all of them. There's more internal investigation complaints there to be made for the ones that we haven't won. Oh boy. But please, I don't mean to overwhelm you or anything. It's actually some very simple stuff. It's just that, we just have to start going by the actual paper, the procedures. And so I would very much appreciate it if you could give me a call back. I think this might be something that would be more appropriate to sit down in person someday if we can't discuss what we need over the phone. Truth be told, a lot of what's over the phone is actually pretty simple if I can just get a hold of you in person. Otherwise, sounds like my voicemail's probably gotten too long here if you got this. Good. Call me back if you can, 970-313-8170 or 970-412-5463. Again, my name is William Montgomery. Thank you very, very much. I'm sorry for the trouble.
To send this message, press pound or hang up. To mark it urgent, 1. To play it, 3. To re-record it, 4. To add to it, 5. To discard it, 6.